From 27 News WKOW, this is breaking news.
We are, of course, continuing to follow that tragic mass shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison.
3 people are dead and 6 were hurt in that shooting. It all happened just before 11 a.m. yesterday. The school is on the east side between Stoughton Road and the interstate.
Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes says when officers got there, they found multiple people had been shot. A teenage victim and a teacher died at the school. Barnes says the shooter died while they were being taken to the hospital. First responders also took 6 other people, including 5 students and 1 teacher, to hospitals in Madison. Right now, police say 2 students are still in the hospital in critical condition. They're being treated at UW Health's University Hospital. Police Chief Sean Barnes says those students have life-threatening injuries. 3 other students and a teacher were taken to SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. As of this morning, 2 of them have been treated and released.
And this morning, we have live coverage for you from Abundant Life Christian School.
Kodichi Lawrence has been making calls overnight, working to bring you the latest information. Kodichi, good morning to you. Tell us how it's feeling to be out there right now. What are you seeing? What's going on your end?
Well, guys, it is a somber Tuesday morning right here in Madison, as many people are still coming to grips with the events of yesterday that left many lives shattered and left us all with unanswered questions. Now, as you have mentioned earlier, we do know that 3 people are dead. That's including the gunman, a teacher, and a student. But what we don't know just yet is the motive. Madison police has identified the shooter as 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, who went by Samantha. She was a student at the school. The last time we heard from the chief, he said the shooting happened inside of a classroom in a study hall full of students from different grades. One of the students, a 2nd grader, called 911 to report the shooting. And here's Madison's police chief, Sean Barnes, on the student's call.
At 10:57 a.m., a 2nd grade student called 911 to report a shooting had occurred at school. Don't let that soak in for a minute.
And we are still waiting to learn more about this incident and how it is unfolding. There is going to be a news conference today at 1 p.m. We will be following the information and we'll bring you the latest as we have them available. I'm reporting in Madison, Kodichi Lawrence. Back to y'all.
Kodichi, thank you. Of course, still developing right now, Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes saying officers are looking through a home on the city's north side. He confirms it is the home of the suspected shooter. You're seeing it here next to me on your screen. One neighbor tells us police officers and a SWAT team showed up about 1:30 or so. This was yesterday afternoon. He says he had no idea what was going on.
We heard like a boom, and we're like, okay, we should probably go down to the basement just if things get serious. So then we were down there just hanging out. There was another boom, and then there were some police officers in our backyard. And when I talked to them, all they said was like, yeah, we have a warrant for this house, and that was about all they could tell me. And
well, that neighbor obviously pretty shocked to learn why police were searching that specific house, right? He says he's had limited interactions with the suspected shooter and her father, but says the news was absolutely not what he was expecting, calling it shocking and distressing. Chief Barnes says everyone in that house is cooperating.
The director of elementary and school relations with Abundant Life Christian School did speak about those security protocols that are in place at the school. They said that by abiding by a policy of visual scans every morning as students come into that building.
We do not have metal detectors, but we do have a number of security protocols in place. We have always been told not to share our security protocols with publicly, because then those who might want to do harm will know your security protocols. But the students are aware that there are cameras in the building, and we do monitor those regularly in the offices so that we know what is happening.
Abundant Life Christian School says it's grateful for all the support and that its students are back home with their parents right now. We spoke with one mother about how she was reunited with her sons. She says they were not hurt, but describes how mentally scarring this is going to be.
I think, mentally, they were at school, and they have friends who probably died in teacher. But yeah, they didn't injure or anything.
Once they had cleared the building, authorities started busing students from Abundant Life to the Dean Clinic on Stoughton Road. That's where those students could be reunited with their families.
We do understand that this process of reunification may have taken a while, and parents really wanted to see their children, give their children a hug. Certainly I would as a father, but we are fortunate that that process is complete.
Chief Barnes says his agency practices school shooting response on the regular. In fact, yesterday in his first news conference of the day, he told us they had done some training just 2 weeks ago, so they were able to complete that reunification process within hours.
Well, people gathered at Black Hawk Church in Middleton for those impacted by the shooting. Some of the pastors who spoke during the vigil were at that reunification site down the street from Abundant Life. They spoke about talking with parents who just wanted to know if their child was okay and the fear they were feeling in those moments.
Watching parents who were reunited with their kids and seeing the tears and all the things that they were going through in that moment. I mean, it's as you stand and you watch something like that, it just makes you realize all the things in our lives that we just take for granted. That for a family like that, they're not doing that in a moment like this. And so the process that they're going to go through as they step into this is a long process. You know, everyone deals with grief and situations differently. And parents have a long road. Kids have a long road as they try to figure out how to walk through a situation like that.
And that's exactly why it was decided this vigil was needed. Nothing was planned for the vigil, but Pastor Matt said they really felt they needed to open up their doors so people could come and pray together. And tonight, another opportunity. The Boys and Girls Club of Dane County organizing a candlelight vigil to support those impacted by the shooting. It'll be at the Vel Phillips statue at the state capitol at 6 o'clock. The entire community is invited to attend.
This morning, we are hearing from both of Wisconsin's U.S. senators about the shooting. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Senator Ron Johnson said, "My sincere condolences and prayers for all the victims of the tragedy at Abundant Life Christian School. I will continue to closely monitor the situation." Senator Tammy Baldwin also posting on X saying, "I have been briefed on the active shooting at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison, and my heart goes out to all those impacted. My office is in touch with local and state officials, and I stand ready to assist law enforcement and anyone affected."
And it didn't stop there. Governor Tony Evers addressed this whole thing during his virtual budget listening session.
If you would join me, and I know this is virtually, but I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to honor the lives we've lost, and extend our hopes for all those that were injured and hopefully will recover and survive.
Governor Evers also ordered United States and Wisconsin flags to be flown at half-staff immediately all across the state until sunset on this Sunday, December 22nd. Well, seeing something like this play out in our community is hard for all of us.
That's something authorities say they do recognize, and they're reminding everyone that resources are available to anyone who's having difficulty processing what happened.
If anyone needs mental health support as a result of this incident and the coverage of it, I encourage them to reach out to 988 by phone or text and to get the mental health support that they need. It is incredibly important that we take care of our community in this very difficult time. We all have a role in preventing gun violence. Our entire community needs to be part of the solution here.
Yeah, as the mayor said, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is one way to get some help. You can also call 988 or text that number to connect with a crisis counselor. Another option is the Disaster Distress Helpline. That number is here on your screen right now, 1-800-985-5990. Counselors are available 24/7. It's all free. There's also 211 Wisconsin that will help you access free and confidential information about your area's mental health care options.
And we are still very much learning new details about the shooting and the investigation that's unfolding right now. We mentioned it before, but a news conference is scheduled for 1 o'clock this afternoon. We will be there. We'll be live streaming the whole thing. So go ahead and download the 27 News Now app. That'll alert you when new information comes in. It is free to download on the Apple and Google Play stores.